everyone, this is Pico Entertainment and we are back again, and I'm going to talk about Supergirl and just give some quick thoughts and review over the recently released trailer for the 6th and final season. Now, there may be spoilers in terms of what happened in the 5th season last year, so if you haven't caught up with those events, then you may want to turn off quickly, catch up with what happened within the 5th season, and then come back to this review. So at the end of the 5th season, Supergirl and her team had managed to defeat Leviathan's plans of using the Obsidian tech, which was the virtual technology that they were using to control the population. We also saw that Lillian, who is Lex's and Lena's mother, she was released and she was working together with Lex, who had somehow obtained some superpower that we were hinted at the end of the season as well. And finally, thank God, in my perspective, we had finally saw the reconciliation of Kara and Lena following their major separation from the fact that Lena had discovered Kara's identity and she went on this whole dark path. And I really hated that. If you go back to my reviews, which you can also check out on my channel, I cover very much the premiere and the finale of Supergirl season 5. One of the things I hated the most about that season was the whole dark cleaner path. I never agreed with it. I thought it really undercut the credibility of the character. So I'm glad they resolved that overall issue as well. We can go back to seeing Kara and Lena being friends, because I think that was one of the most, appealing parts of this season. And I really like Lena Luthor as a character, and also it's also great to see Katie McGrath back on the screens working together with the team as well. So in terms of the trailer itself, I think it was fine. It was only about a minute long, so not too much really to delve upon. It was very quick, it was action packed, it was very effects driven. I think essentially it shows that there will basically be an all-out battle against Lex Luthor, who we see now has gained some superpowers. We see those scenes where he's got a kryptonite powered ring, and then we see the following scenes where he's battling Supergirl and her team within the fortress as well. So just quick thoughts on this. I have liked the John Cryer version of Lex Luthor. You know, I think he just walks that right kind of balance between kind of comic cheesiness and seriousness as well. The only thing that I have in terms of a concern is that I hope that this season doesn't focus primarily on the conflicts between Lex and the team led by Supergirl, because I think that's really what was hurting a lot of the season 4. I think season 4 started off brilliantly when we had two very complex and different villains in both Ben Lockwood and Manchester Black, and I think for the first 8 or 9 episodes, the season 4 was started out strongly, even perhaps possibly better than the 3rd season, which I think overall is the best season of the show. But I think what happened was we had the mid-season finale, and I think both Lockwood and Manchester Black got arrested in prison, and then they brought back Lex Luthor, and I think what happened was everything started to revolve around Lex Luthor in terms of various other villains and the heroes around them. Lex Luthor was basically the architect of everything that went on within National City, and I think the problem with that is that it undercutted the presence of other characters. It really undermined them, and I think especially for Lena, right, because Lena kind of drifted towards the sidelines where she was doing her own thing about trying to gain control of the people because she felt all safe in the world. But because you had made Lex Luthor front and center, particularly of this 5th season, Lena's role became a lot diminished, and I think that's the problem. They kind of made Lex too much of the dominant figure. Now, again, if you go back to the 5th season, if you remember, this was in the middle of the huge crossover, the Crisis on Infinite Earths. That was, I believe, the 5-part crossover that they had. And Supergirl really was the show that was most affected, because it really upended the whole continuity throughout the show. Basically, the biggest result, of course, that Lex Luthor was no longer this mastermind criminal. He was now this kind of very famous humanitarian. And they didn't quite work it right. There were some dangling threads that they didn't quite integrate properly, and you were asking certain questions throughout the rest of the season. I think it really hurt the season overall. I've always said in previous reviews that I think what we should have got was basically a reset, because I wasn't convinced on how the season was going so far, in terms of we had the Malekith character as well dealing with John, and also the Leviathan as well, and they weren't really building too much in terms of those elements. So I thought they could have used the Crisis event to restart the season and start again, but they kind of progressed on from there, and I think, to be honest, it kind of felt a bit flat towards the end, so it didn't quite give me the satisfaction I was looking for in terms of the overall 5th season. But I just hope there's a bit more to the season. Now, of course, they didn't want to show you too much and they didn't want to spoil it overall, but I just don't want it to be a case of where we're just battling Lex and he's just using kryptonite, because it's just those familiar beats that we've kind of covered already, and I was kind of hoping we get a new fresh villain who's going to dominate as well throughout this season as well. It's not clear how many episodes we get. Again, if anybody knows, comment in the comments as well. Just let me know how many episodes. I mean, I think overall, when we look at Supergirl, we can safely say that it was, of course, the decision of Melissa to quit the show, because I think she'd already had a baby, or had a baby on the way at the time, and then of course we had all the COVID regulations affecting the show, and I think she had come to the end of her contract and she decided to depart the show, very much like what we had with Stephen Amell from Arrow. If you remember, he reached the end of his contract from the 7th season, and they managed to get him for a few additional episodes for season 8 of Arrow, which was only about 10 episodes as well. So I think, many people comment on Supergirl. I know it's got a very mixed reaction amongst fans. I think it was a good show, very strong elements, and I think if Melissa had continued to do the show, I think it would have carried on for season 7 and 8. No doubt about it. The Flash was the strongest ratings of the show, but I think Supergirl was up there. So if you're going to continue Legends of Tomorrow, which unbelievably is going to get to season 7, then no doubt about it, I think if Melissa had wanted to carry on with the show, it would have definitely got to a 7th season and possibly an 8th season as well. No doubt about it. So yeah, just a shame overall, but yeah, I just hope they go all out for this 6th and final season and give it an epic conclusion that I think the show is deserving of. I think it's had a good run. I think we were skeptical at the beginning of Supergirl how far it would go on to, so I think to get at least 6 seasons, I think it's going to get close to 150 episodes. So if you'd have said that at the start of the 1st season, I think that's pretty good going for this show. So yeah, just hopefully they can deliver an epic conclusion throughout the season, lots of big character depth and lots of big, noteworthy and significant episodes. I think we'll probably end the season, I guess, with Kara maybe meeting up with Mon-El again and going to another reality. Maybe she goes into the future, joining a legion of superheroes. That's maybe how they will conclude it overall, but we will wait and see. But those are my quick overall thoughts on the trailer for the season 6 of Supergirl. Very exciting, brisk paced, and promising a lot for the following season, but I just hope we get more character depth and hopefully not everything centers around Lex Luthor. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you excited for the 6th season of Supergirl? How do you think overall the show has been? Which season do you believe was the best season? Me personally, it was season 3, but did you think it was season 4? Did you like the integration of Lex Luthor, or do you think it hurt the show having him and being the main focus of the season 4 overall? Let me know what your particular best episodes are of the show as well. As with usual with all the CWs, I will cover the premiere episode, any standout episodes in between that, and then I will also do the finale and cover the season overall review as well. So those are my thoughts and feelings. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please hit those like and subscriptions and notification buttons to help me grow more content for you in the future. But that's it for now. Stay at safe distances, take care of yourselves, and I will see you very, very soon.